Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how you can earn some stones and also what you should be doing before the worldwide celebration. So the worldwide celebration is on the 25th, and for most players it'll be pretty early in the day, alternatively around mid-afternoon. And essentially you kind of want to grind as many stones as you can before then. Now, sometimes the banners for Worldwide Celebration don't actually come out immediately. They actually come out like a little bit afterwards, which is fine. In terms of grinding stones, one of the biggest sources of stones right now is going to be the Krillin Extreme Z Awakening. There's a campaign on right now and it will drop 40 stones, which is pretty big. 40 stones is pretty much a whole multi, at least, about 10 stones off. And yeah, there's a lot of stones to earn in doing so. All of the easy battles or Extreme Z battles have come back, and for a lot of players, if you missed the 5th anniversary or if you haven't done all of the Extreme Z battles, now is the perfect time to catch up. There are plenty to do, and for new players as well, this is a great source of stones. Even if you are only getting to stage 5 or 10 or whatever in these, a lot of the time that's an extra 5, 10 stones, etc. that you can get, and it's just highly advisable that you basically go about that process. Every single Extreme Z battle is up, so it's pretty much an ideal time to farm whatever you haven't farmed from this. And a lot of the times players can find a lot of missing stones if they really do go through this properly, which I think is great. Special mention to a lot of the easier ones like the raids, but it's definitely the best way to go. Now, in terms of a challenge, there's Extreme Z areas galore that are up. There's Shadow Dragons, there's all those challenge events that you can tackle for stones. But something that's actually quite important for stones and that a lot of players forget is, Dokkan Boss Rush, but also some important events like Dokkan events. There are always new Dokkan events, for example, the 2 new units from the anniversary. That's 2 Dokkan events, that's 2 difficulties, that's 4 stones, and these add up. If you haven't been doing them, if you haven't been collecting them, maybe you're returning after a while, doing the 10 Dokkan events you didn't do, that's 20 stones, and it's fairly easy. You don't have to do both difficulties now like you used to, so it's definitely something that, again, I would suggest a lot of people look at. Now, in terms of the Portal of Memories, there are a couple of the story events that are obviously, let's just say, not currently available, and I highly suggest you look at doing some of the older ones, things like Resurrection AF, things like the Goku and Arale events. All of these tend to be solid choices in doing. You can get some really, really good stones, so I highly suggest that you guys take a look at it and at least look at investing into it. Then we have the Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash. By the time this video is up, it will be about 4 days until it expires. Highly suggest essentially to do that event. It's very, very good, and you get a ton of stones. You don't have a lot of time to complete it, so it's just a big reminder. And then of course we also have the DB Story, and now DB Story events. Been some new ones added. If you've missed out on a couple, go take a look. You can grab yourself a ton of stones. And yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, honorable mention to things like the Punching Bag event, which is great. There have been some new quest mode updates that some of you may have missed. If you are looking at other ways, Portal of Memories is pretty good. There are Extreme Z battles, a lot of heroes related stuff, because the heroes related stuff does not come back with everything else. And you can grab these and hopefully get yourself some stones. Outside of that, there's not too much. You could maybe buy the equipment event tickets, which you have to buy, by the way, the keys for the equipment event. But yeah, that's gonna depend on yourself. I don't really suggest. I like to look at ways outside of buying objects, but yeah, basically, that's always a source. But otherwise, guys, honestly, I wish you all the very best. A lot of the times, it's just about combing through every single event that you haven't done and making sure you get it done. Like I said, check that you have done all the new quest mode updates. If you got nothing else to do, you can always link level, so it's just a good way to spend your stamina. And just a special mention, because right now obviously it can be a confusing time with all the missions, You want to make sure that you do the Worldwide Celebration countdown missions, but also the Extreme Class Campaign countdown missions, because those are going to be very important. There's 7 Dragon Stones for the Extreme Growth missions. There are also quite a few Dragon Stones, I think 13, for the Worldwide Celebration countdown missions. So make sure that you get those done as well, because those will expire. The other stuff like punching bag events and that, they don't expire, but those do expire, and you're going to want to finish them before you end up going into the Worldwide Celebration. But yeah, that is basically going to be it for me. See you next time. Bye.